Hello, Internet friends. Welcome back once again, and thanks for joining me today. I want to start off by wishing you all a very happy new year. I hope that you can all look back on 2015 with some positive reflection and maybe find some things in 2016 that you can orient yourself towards working towards some different goals. I'm going to cover really quickly what you're going to be watching in this video. This is going to be my week 3, days 1 and 3, so my main squat work, some bench pressing, my deadlifts, and then some more bench pressing. So you're going to see a 530 squats for 6 triples. I showed the first, the third, and the sixth set. Then you're going to watch a 5x5 on my bench presses for 295. Then I didn't include the accessory work from this day, and you're going to then watch the 676 doubles that I did on Tuesday with my deadlifts, followed by 315 bench presses for 6 sets of 4. Anyway, now that that's all out of the way, I do want to talk about the idea of resolutions, the idea of taking this new year as an opportunity to set goals for yourself in order to pursue and achieve. And a lot of people, especially in the fitness community, there seems to be this trend that people look down on someone for being a resolutioner, for someone to approach it as a negative thing, saying, oh, these people, if they were really committed, they would have started. Don't wait for the new year, chase your dreams now. But for some people, it is really effective to have something like a solid start date and to give yourself those tools. And so I want to give you guys some ideas for maybe how to stick to some resolutions. I know for me personally, I have some things in this next year that I really do want to work on some very specific self-improvement. As you guys know, I definitely spend a lot of time thinking about what I could be improving about myself and about the way that I go about things, and trying to become just a better human people as you move along through life. But I think a really important aspect is to separate what your goals are and to determine to use a process-oriented approach as opposed to an objective approach. So the difference between that is, like, an objective-oriented goal would be something like, I want to lose 10 pounds, where a process-oriented goal would be something like, I want to count my macros every single day. I want to track my macros, and I want to hit my goal numbers every single day. One of these things is the objective, right? So your goal is to do that, but it doesn't really give you any direction or any way to go about doing that. You still have to fill in those things. Where the process-oriented goal is, you're committing to a process. You're committing to doing something like, instead of saying I want to squat this amount of weight or I want to total this number, saying I want to hit all of my workouts as hard as I can this year. I want to be in the best position that I can. I want to make sure that I'm getting this many hours of sleep each night. I want to go to bed by this time. I want to wake up at this time. I want to do this amount of mobility each day. That's a process-oriented approach versus saying I just want to do more. And it helps to bring in the broadness of generalization, which can allow you to be more successful in the approach. There's nothing wrong with having these big, sweeping, grandiose ideas of the things that you want to accomplish, but if you break them down and reduce them into smaller, more manageable parts where you can actually have these smaller goals that you're approaching, and putting more of an emphasis on the things you are doing to reach that objective and that outcome, that is when you will find yourself being more successful. One of the tools that I also use for myself as a personal challenge, I have a tendency to, if I give myself an inch, I'll take a mile when it comes to leniency. And in the past, I've tended to over-regulate certain things. I've struggled with flexible dieting because if I just make something fit my macros, I will fall a little bit too far out of it, and you can have a tendency to get loose on those things, and you can justify anything, especially if it is something that's a pretty significant life change. So something that I like to do and I'm going to be implementing is to make yourself somewhere in a public place, or public for you, something you'll see every day, maybe on your bathroom mirror or on your wall, to get like a whiteboard or a poster or something, and write down. You can divide divide that poster, and you will make it into these two sides, where one of those sides are the times that you compromised your goal for something that you wanted in that moment. For me personally, it'd be something like, okay, I decided to get a little too flexible on my diet, and I was filling up my macros with mostly like if I do a some sort of fast food run or something, which isn't horrible. It's not the end of the world, but it's one of those things I could even say, yeah, it would be appropriate sometimes. But if it is taking away from the process that I have set for myself, which is I want to be making most of my own meals, I want to be really accurate about that kind of a thing. If I go away from that, I put a little tally mark there and says this is a time I can point to at the end of at the end of this testing process. When I get to the meet, when I get to October, I want to look back and say this is the amount of times that I compromised on my goals for something that was quick and easy. But then on the other side, you have those times where you deal with that temptation, because I think it's important to have a positive alternative to that, to say this is the time where I really wanted to do something else, but I chose my goals. I chose to stick to the process over that openly generalized idea. And so then you can compare it at the end of the year. I think it's really helpful for me personally with these kinds of goals to be able to look and say, this is how many times I gave in to my temptation and I allowed myself to choose something over my goals in that moment. And then this is the amount of times that I chose my goal over what I potentially wanted in that moment. And I think that is a very effective tool to use. It doesn't mean that you should beat yourself up about it all the time if you do have some tally marks on that left side, but it does happen, and it at least can visually motivate you in a different way to stick to those goals. I don't think it's silly to have New Year's resolutions. But the important thing about setting these goals is making sure you're serious about them before you start and setting yourself up for success where you actually have a chance to accomplish them. Small, reasonable, process-based goals will get you further than some grandiose, broad, general idea with no sense of structure or plan. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that it encouraged you, inspired you, or just helped you think about these ideas. Definitely don't claim to know everything, but this is just some stuff that has helped me in the past, and I hope it's going to help again. I wish you all, once again, a very happy new year, and may you all have the best year of your life in 2016. Have a great day. Bye.